With me today is a very special and very talented lady, Miss Robin Terrebonne. How are you, my dear?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for
So
having
great
me.
to have
You
you.
too. You too.
So, over the years, there has been a pretty tremendous pull towards health
hmm
and an education that has come kind of from the ground up,
hmm
where people are realizing that their health matters and the things that they eat and the things that they drink and their lifestyle
hmm
really affects people. And you have a very unique position in the opportunity to help educate them with regard to what makes their body work
hmm
better
hmm
and what maybe hurts their body. So, what got you into that in the first place? So, what is it that you do with regard to where are you now,
Okay.
and then how did you get into that?
So I initially got into massage therapy because of a car accident.
Mm,
I was actually in school for nursing and was going to be a nurse and got in a really horrible car accident in college and hit some ribs on the steering wheel, right?
mm,
And the pain didn't hit me for about 6 months after that. And so I decided that sticking people for a living was probably not the best thing for me, that I wanted to teach people how to reduce pain and inflammation.
mm.
And so I enrolled in massage school, even though I had a scholarship to college. I enrolled in a massage school and had to pay out of pocket for schooling. And my mom was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I had a change of call. So
Mm.
decided to go to massage school. And I was probably one of the younger ones in the class at the time. It was in 97 that I was enrolled. And right when I got out of massage school, I had a full-time position at a spa on the South Shore.
Mhm.
But in my early 20s, I really didn't have much. I didn't really have much pain. I didn't go through death. I didn't have divorce. I didn't have children. I wasn't a mom. So at some level, I was a little bit stale at what I did. I didn't really connect to people.
Mm,
I was putting out like 30 massages a week, but I
mm.
really wasn't connecting. It wasn't until I became a mom that I started to shift and kind of change how my approach was with helping people.
Sure.
But fast forward, after 22 years of practicing consistently, I ended up semi-retiring and gave up my license and decided that I didn't want to practice anymore. And it's a long history of that. And God opened up the window back for me after the divorce, and it was insane how it happened. And I looked up at the sky and said, "Okay, I'm listening. I hear you." Because I wasn't licensed for about 5 years.
Mm.
And in the state, if you're not licensed for 5 years and you lapse, you have to go all the way back through school for it.
Oh, wow.
And at the time, school was half price of what I would have paid currently. And I just said, I'm going to give up and go to real estate instead. I got my real estate license. Not even about 8 months after that, I called state and said, "Look, I have to be grandfathered in some kind of way. Like there's got to be something y'all can do to give me my license
Sure.
back." And they said, "Well, because of COVID, half of the workforce in Louisiana hasn't come back, and we're
Wow.
allowing anyone who's ever been licensed
Wow.
a little slap on the wrist, a little fine, continuing education units, and instead of 15 grand, it cost me $900 to get my license back."
Wow.
So for the last 3 years, I've been on a mission to reignite my practice, obviously. I was able to pull a few people that I used to have, but
Mhm.
people move on. But in the last 3 years, the pain that I've gone through and the spiritual pain that I've gone through,
Mhm.
but also the healing that I've gone through has allowed me to bring that into the room. And
Mm.
I always say, healers on earth don't heal people, they help guide people how to heal.
Mm.
And so I do bring Jesus in my room. I pray on people, and my prayer at the end of every single person is, God, please bring me their mercy and grace. Please let Jesus heal them for whatever ailment they are. I'll say
Mm.
their name and their ailment, and I'll leave it at that. I keep it simple. And I've actually been ridiculed for that. I've actually been ridiculed from other professionals who are massage therapists saying, "How dare her prey on people?" And how dare you even come to me if you don't want me to pray on you, is the way I see it because of the healing that I've had. But in response to that, there are so many people who are fed up. They're fed up with generalized medicine. They're
Mhm.
fed up with conventional aspects of how to heal. And in my last few years of education and training, I have so much training. I've done so much continuing education units over the last 25 years, 30 years. But fascial recovery has been one of the biggest key points on how I kind of maximize and isolate myself,
Mhm.
because fascia, I like to tell people don't understand fascial pain. It's literally the devil in our body. I
Mm.
actually saved something to read it because it's almost like when our cortisol levels spike, our fascia gets super tight and it causes an intense pain because of its sensory and how sensitive it is in comparison to muscle tissue. And even though muscles are my job, fascia
Mhm.
has been my focus.
So
And
now, where is I for those that haven't heard that term before,
mhm.
where is that localized, or what type or style of pain is it? How would they recognize
so
that's a problem for them?
So fascia is our connective tissue. It should be its own system in itself, but it's not. It's part of the connective tissue. It's basically a coating over every fiber of our muscle tissue, but it also is an interlining webbing of how our organs stay in the place. It's what kind of gives us the upright scenario, right?
Mm,
But it's very fluid when it's healthy. The
mm,
challenge is in our current society, it's struggling because we're not drinking correctly.
mm.
We're not focused on drinking salt water. When I tell people you need to be drinking some level of salt water, what are you talking about? I don't mean guzzling it,
Right.
gallons. I'm talking about electrolytes and amino
And not
acids
like
and
out at the ocean,
yeah, no,
add salt to
to
your
your water.
water.
Yeah. Fascia needs that. It needs us to ground. It needs that positive energy from the ground. We don't
Sure.
walk around barefooted enough.
Mhm.
But it also needs heat.
Mm,
It needs heat to melt. When it gets hardened, it needs to be melted down to heat. So
mm,
when people there's chains throughout the body and it's a whole science behind the different chains. I think there's like 8 of them.
mhm,
And let's say your toe hurts and you have plantar fasciitis.
mhm,
That pain will resonate all into your face
oh, yeah.
because the connection is there. So when I tell people your toes can affect your nose. I'm
Mm.
not kidding. So getting that and releasing that is where pain can be relieved different than muscles. Okay.
So it's not just massage that is gonna be able to try to move that
Massage is
fluid
imperative.
around.
Yes.
There are other elements that make a massage either work or work better, depending upon how well you've hydrated or what you've hydrated with.
Hmm. By B12, folic acid, potassiums, certain magnesiums, all those when they're in your bloodstream allow fascia to take a deep breath.
Mm,
But being flexible, stretching, movement. We live in a very sedentary lifestyle. We were
sure.
not made to be this stagnant. Like we were not made to sit around. And that's where the biggest challenge is. It's not about gaining weight or it's not about obesity. It's not about any of that. Movement was God's gift to us. Movement is God's gift that we can actually get up every morning and He gives us air and the ability to walk. And
Mm,
so many people take that for granted, and I see it every single day.
mm,
And I like to say that people think that I'm a miracle worker, but I'm not. I can't fix you if you've been 25 years of doing the same thing in 1 hour. I can't fix you.
right.
I'm going to help you, but I can't fix you.
Mhm.
And so my whole concept is education, and I do kind of overeducate sometimes. I think that people are overwhelmed by my educational level and that what I'm sharing because it makes them have to face themselves.
Sure,
And if that makes sense, but
sure.
yeah, yeah.
So with that, where has that brought you now with regard to your practice?
So currently, I do offer a fascial rejuvenation session, which has grounding sheets added to the table. I use a lot of heat, so I use a lot of moist heat. I tell people I don't recommend dry heating pads. They change our electromagnetic field. They almost
Mm,
dehydrate us in a sense.
mm,
So people who sleep on blankets or hot heating pads, not good. We need that moisturized heat, right? I use hot stones, which ironically enough, my first 20 years of practice, I wouldn't touch one.
mm,
But now that I know what it feels like and I know how it helps penetrate into that fascial tissue, it's amazing. And I get a lot of results from that. I also have a heated scraper.
mm,
It's a triangular device that has, it looks like almost like an ice skate that heats up.
mhm.
And that will break up adhesions in the fascial tissue where in certain areas like the Achilles area, or if you have certain spots around the lower back where there's more tendon fascia
Sure.
connection, that will allow it to take a deep breath, right? And then it delivers that blood flow to the muscle and the oxygen that we need for the pain relief. But so I have implemented more tools because obviously my hands can get that hot. But there's certain elements of essential oils and certain creams that will penetrate better into
Mhm.
it. And I'm an advocate for magnesium oil.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone should have it in their medicine cabinet. It is no side effect. I use it twice a day on my body, but I also use it all day long on my hands because I blend it with my cream that I use.
Mm,
And I tell people it's a game changer for pain relief. If you're just one day and you're just tight and you feel it, just slap it on. It almost feels like Tylenol on your skin. I just don't even like to use that word, but it's almost that instant of a pain reliever
mhm.
on your skin, and there's no side effects.
Right.
The only side effect is if you're dry, it burns a little bit like you got out the ocean. You just mix some cream with it. So,
So obviously, over the years, you've seen many things that work, and you've
hmm
seen many things that are effective. And the more that you, as well as your patients,
hmm
get familiar with that pathway of what works,
hmm
have you had a chance to develop any products that the patient may be able to utilize on a more regular basis if they can't get to you
on a regular
on a
basis.
regular basis as
So
a
I
massage?
I tell people all the time, magnesium oil minimum, have that in your service, but I mean in your medicine cabinet. But I'm gonna go back to what you were saying. Over the last 30 years, I've seen a difference in body types. I've
Mm,
seen a lot of differences in congestion, I should
mm.
call it. A trained massage therapist is like a butcher. They know a good piece of meat when they feel it, right? But they have to feel it. They have to literally be pliable and feel it. And so people will say, Robin, how do you know where to just go? How do you know directly where to go? How do you know?
Mm,
Well, first of all, 99.9% of us anatomically are exactly the same,
mhm,
right? We may have different body types, but our anatomy is the same.
mhm,
So when you know the body well enough, you know that there's a band of tissue here, or there's, that bone is there, and there's these nerves there. But from 1997 till about 2005, we had a totally different way of how we treated our bodies and what we
mm,
ate. Okay. Then we had about a few years, maybe 10, 15 years, where preservatives, preservatives, preservatives.
mm,
Everyone was on the preservative because we didn't know how bad they were for us.
mm,
I feel like since 2020, there's been a big wake up call.
mm,
Okay. Whatever it was, but people educated themselves while they were bored.
right.
And I think that a lot of people now are aware of the fact that our bodies are meant to heal themselves.
Mm,
If we avoid putting all this on it and in it, it will heal itself. And so the challenge for me as a massage therapist is I can touch a person's back and tell if they're dehydrated.
mm,
I can tell if they're overpreserved. And I know it sounds psychotic, but it's so real to me, and the tissue is so different from what it was when I first practiced.
mm,
So technically in this day and age, it's harder to be a massage therapist because tissue is more constricted, it's more compacted, and it's more
mm,
it's I like to use the word congested.
mm,
It feels congested.
mhm.
So getting it to open up is where warming it up is appropriate, because you can hurt somebody if they're not warmed up. And that's
Mhm.
why I use the tools that I use to keep the body warm.
Well, I think too that, since God created us, uh, he also created all of the things that
hmm
would give us the resources
hmm
to heal the bodies that he also created. And not
hmm
just us, but the animal kingdom as well. And
Yes.
and quite literally the air can clean itself, the
hmm
water can clean itself.
hmm hmm
The cycle of operation, or the cycle that the entire planet goes through,
hmm
we're part of that.
We are.
And we're very much capable of healing if we are aware
hmm
of the right things to eat and do. And it's
Yes.
just it's amazing that that has been set aside
hmm
from a marketing perspective to be able to drive sales into something that is not natural and low cost.
Yes, yes, yes. So inflammation was always my primary goal, is how to reduce inflammation. That was my initial reason why I changed professions in general. And it's my role at 48 years old every single day to how not to inflame myself. I
Mm,
can't produce what God's gifted me with if I can't actually get up out of bed, right?
right.
And I'm usually at about 20 to 25 hours a week in work, right? So massage therapy seems, when you receive it, it seems so luxurious, but they're not paying attention to what the actual therapist is physically putting out.
Sure.
And a lot of therapists don't break enough. They're not drinking enough. They're not eating properly because they're in session all day long.
Hmm.
Now, in my old age, I've gotten smart, and I make sure that I eat a really huge breakfast. I have a supplemental plan.
Mm,
So I do help support my body and inflammation. So inflammation, I like to say, is the devil's way of controlling us, because it truly, truly is. I have seen inflammation make someone want to kill themselves
wow.
because their body is in so much pain. Their pain body is controlling their mind at some
Mm,
point. And if you know what God wants you to know, He doesn't want you to be in pain. He doesn't want us inflamed. He wants us prosperous and playful and joyful. He doesn't want us ridden in bed,
right.
crying, being depressed, and on anxiety medicines and on pain meds. So everything that I preach, I practice.
Mm,
And it's cost me a lot of money to invest in my own internal health, alternative medicine care.
Mm-hmm.
I even did it with my daughters. People thought I was psycho. Oh, you're doing voodoo medicine on your children. Okay, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but you're holding a Dr. Pepper in your hand and you're questioning what turmeric does, the side effects of turmeric. I'm not even going to place an argument with you at that
Right.
point, right? So my children even were exposed to how strongly I felt about alternative medicine.
Sure.
And that is the turmerics, that is black seed oils and
Sure.
grapefruit seed extract, all these things that God developed to fight bacteria and viruses and parasites that cause us inflammation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Different types of joint protection, whether it's chondroitin or you're taking collagens or all these
Mm-hmm.
different things internally help us build, right? And so as a massage therapist, I could say I rub a dub all day long, but I don't. That's not where I want to help people. But I also have a lot of pushback because people want immediate results these days.
Right.
We want on demand, and that's not how you reverse health issues.
I want to order the 6-pack abs on Amazon and have it delivered tomorrow.
Right, exactly. So the challenge is getting people to understand the discipline of it, right? And currently, the age category that I work on is between 30 to 60. That's usually an age category. I do get some younger clients. I've had 7-year-olds to 92-year-olds, but I always tell my 30-year-olds, start now. I started when I was 19. I'm 48 years old and I get questioned all the time, how old are you?
Right.
I also have, worked out of a dark room and haven't had sun exposure, but I also do everything that my body needs to do internally
Mm-hmm.
to show outward, to stay healthy looking, and to be healthy looking. It's not really for me to even look healthy. I want to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what's changed in the last 3 years of my reignition of my practice,
Mm-hmm.
in a sense, is just educating people on internal.
So tell me a little bit about your team. Obviously, you have developed this into something that has become not just beneficial for your direct clients, but you want to be able to share that with a larger group and to be able to gather like-minded professionals
Yes.
to come together to be able to spread this healing, literally, to a wider group of people. So what's the group that you're with?
Currently, I'm at a day spa in Mandeville. It's called the Ritual Company. We have a team of just estheticians, hairstylists. I'm one of the therapists. We have another therapist there. But personally, I have my own massage therapy team.
Right.
So I have, I don't hire out now. I'm my own person. Like I had employees when I had my spa on the West Bank of New Orleans in 2003. I had about 4 different massage therapists work for me. But in my relaunch, I didn't want to own my own place. I didn't want bricks and mortar. I had been there, done that. I wanted to just kind of isolate myself and just rebuild again. But when it comes to who works on me and who I work on in exchange, I have about 5 different massage therapists from all training practice. They've all trained in different states. They all have different ways that they approach the body, and you learn from them. And if that's one advice I can give to any massage therapist going to school is do not be intimidated by other people in your practice, because you will never learn if you don't receive. You have to receive touch to know how to intuitively give touch. If I never had someone touch me, I wouldn't know. And I'm an advocate for chiropractor care. I always tell people, if you don't believe in chiropractor care, you don't believe in building a house correctly. If your structure of your body is literally disrupted, the house, you won't build a house with bad 2x4s. So consider the fact that if your structure of your backbone or your vertebrae are not in alignment, you're going to have issues.
Absolutely.
Okay? So I've probably been to 30 chiropractors in my lifetime. Started super early. My dad was an advocate for it. They all have different techniques as well. They all approach differently. So you kind of choose bits and pieces of people's touch.
Sure.
You choose how they come across. Some have bedside manner. Some are super soft-winded. Some are in it for the money. And I tell people, if you're a massage therapist in it for the money, you might last 3 years. You might last 3 years because in the beginning, you may only make $60 a whole week.
Right.
And this is very rare in the country to see a therapist that makes 6 figures more a year. Okay. So if you're in it for the money, you're not going to be prosperous. You have to be able to give and hope for the return. So that's some of the mild advice I would give to the younger generation. But some of the newer therapists that come to me because they know my experience and they've seen me get best of the best for St. Tammy, and they're like, I just wanted to see what you were about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, first of all, I am nobody better than anybody else. Like, I can be taken out just as quick as anybody else. Like, I know my place in this world and I know how powerful I'm not, right?
Right.
But I also know my gift, and I know that God gifted me with this touch and talent, and intuition is what I am known for. They're like, your intent is so, my intention. People say your intent and your touch is so amazing. And it's because I give love 150% every time I'm touching somebody, no matter who it is. And so for newer therapists, I'll tell them, if intuitively you're not feeling it, you're not in the right profession. Go into something else.
That's a great way to say it too, because even in sales of any kind, to truly be a very good salesperson, you actually care about the other person and you care about what are their goals, understanding them, where are they coming from, and not buying the product that I happen to be selling might be the right answer for you, or the opportunity to see through what they may not yet realize is going to be of benefit. And then to have that trust with them, have that empathy where that they care enough about your concern to listen to you and to do the things that you're recommending.
Yep.
And that's a powerful bridge, and not everybody crosses over into doing that, because some people just don't, they can't give in to the wisdom or to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And they may not realize the value, and it may take a little while for people to kind of get there, but you have to love them enough to stick with them and to be able to help them through a difficult physical time where some of their lifestyle choices may have led them to this place.
Yep. When I first started at the spa that I'm at right now, I use hot towels to sanitize people's feet, but it's also a gesture like Jesus did washing the feet. I don't have the ability to actually dunk people's feet in a pot or a bowl, so I use hot towels. And in the beginning, I used to tell everyone that's what I was doing. And it didn't bode well with some people. It really didn't bode well. And I almost felt an immediate pullback of, why are you bringing that here? Like, I'm not here for that. Don't tell me how to do my job.
Right.
I don't tell you how to do your job. And I'm pretty sure you probably never gave a professional massage before. So if you don't want Jesus in the room, I'm going to pray even harder for you.
Right.
And so there have been some things where I'm not there to sell you. I'm not there to get an extra tip. Tips are appreciated, but they're never expected. And so I tell people, I'm here because you were brought to me for a reason.
Right.
You were assigned to me in this specific reason. However you found me, whether you were referred or Googled or just walked in because you had a gift card, you were brought to me for some specific reason. And I'm fully aware of every single person I've touched, which, by the way, is over 25,000 people. Every single one of those people has taught me something, and I have taught them something. I have had people who have come to me for 8 years I had a guy who came to me for 8 years. He walked in and he said, if he ever heard this, he'd know who I was talking about. He walked in my office and he said, I'm getting a massage every week. I just had a pacemaker put in. I'm a millionaire and I can't buy my health.
Wow.
And I said, okay. He said, I'll pay you $400 a week. I said, we're going to have to negotiate this. Because at the time, I was only charging like $90 for a 90-minute. I was like, we're going to have to negotiate that. I think that's a little too high. And he was like, well, what about $200 a week? I said, okay, I can accept a $100 tip at that point. This was like 15 years ago. He came to me every single week for 8 years.
Wow.
Him and his wife became very close to me. She introduced me to Pilates. She even helped save my life, which she doesn't even know this, but she's the doctor that they were going to was an alternative medicine doctor. And that's how I found out some of the issues that I was having. And she helped me out. So all these key players that God would send me would change the trajectory of how I was handling my own health,
right,
in the sense. So I always tell people, never negate why you were there,
right,
and not why you were brought there for a reason. Whether you went there because you didn't want to be there, or you went there because you're desperate to be there.
right.
Take what you can get from it and learn from that person. And so, yes, I never try to sell who I am. I'm confident in who I am. I'm confident in my profession. I'm not cocky about it because I know I'm very humble. And this is what I tell people. I'll never know my own massage. I'll never know my own touch. My team of 5 girls that I trade off with, I could teach them exactly what I do verbatim.
And they won't be able
They
to
will
pull it
not
off
be
the
able to
same
pull
way
it
you
because they
do.
don't have my heart.
Right.
They're not my spirit. They don't have my heart, and they don't have the healing touch that Jesus has given me personally. I have a friend who's phenomenal. She's booked up 2 months in advance. I don't have that. She's phenomenal. She's a double breast cancer survivor. She has the touch.
Mm.
She's intuitive. She knows her thing. But even if I taught her exactly what I know, we don't have the same touch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we stay humble at what we do, because we don't know our own work. I
Mm-hmm.
have to rely on you saying, you actually know what you're doing, Robin. Actually, that feels good. I don't know. I could be horrible. I don't even know. But I do know I'm at least decent at what I do, because I get referrals and I get, people come back to me. So,
Well, even then, I mean, for many years, I worked as a camera operator,
mm,
and I carried between 25 to 45 pounds on my right shoulder. And as I would describe it, I'm working out
mhm,
and I'm waltzing and I'm playing the violin all at the same time.
mhm,
There's a fine motor skill required. There's a coarse motor
mhm,
skill,
mhm,
and then there's a stamina. We're going to do this all day.
mhm,
And it literally loaded the right side of my body every day. My calves were different sizes.
mhm,
My deltoids were different sizes. As you can imagine, the muscles needed to stay level
mhm,
on my hips were stretching and pulling in a different way. Then when we get into very, very active, like very aggressive combat sequences or something
mhm,
where there's a lot of handheld, a lot of active
mhm,
movement where I've got potentially hundreds of little cues that I have to be able to hit over the course of a concert or over the course of a weeks and weeks and weeks long
mhm,
sequence. The massage therapists and my chiropractor would, on an almost daily basis, have to put me back together
mhm,
to bring back just the momentum, the
mhm,
movement, the capability to not be, in essence, crippled from my own damage that
mhm.
was being created. And even though it wasn't one big
It
impact,
wasn't, but
it was just
the
little by
slow
little by
blow.
little by little by little. And you're either going to strengthen, but it's gonna tear you up to get there.
Mhm,
And once my doctor said, "Hey, you need to put the camera down. You need to become a DP. You need to start shooting more.
mhm,
Have other people pick the camera
mhm,
up." That was really hard. But I had to trust him
mhm,
because he saw something that was damaging my body. And thanks to Avala about a year ago, that's
mhm,
kind of how we met.
mhm,
Uh, I finally got back surgery and I feel like a completely different person.
mhm,
But it took that much damage to be able to say, "Hey, you can't go on like this.
mhm.
You have to get this fixed."
I see it often, and I confidently can say I've helped people stop surgery. Now, I am not a Rolfer. Rolfing is a totally different aspect of structural integration with the body. They're more osteo related, like they're dealing more with connective tissue and how the
Mm.
structure of the body is. I've learned from one. He worked on me probably for 10 years. He taught me more than massage therapy school did, but what saddens me is when I listen to what you're saying, so many men especially don't take care of themselves.
Mm.
And the thing about it is most men are not properly professionally touched. Okay. If they would understand how their body feels, they would be able to be more aware of where they're at. But there's only about 23% of the population in men that actually get massage therapy.
Mm.
Okay. And of
We
that
just want to tough it out.
of
We
that
want to just
23
get through it.
of that 23%, maybe only half of them believe it's professional. And that's the
Mm.
sad part about it. I'm not a masseuse. Don't call me a masseuse. I'm not a masseuse. I'm a professional licensed massage therapist. I actually call myself a massage practitioner
Mm.
because I'm constantly practicing my trade. I'm learning more and more and more. Masseuse is it's the negative derogatory
Right.
70s style. Oh, that massage therapist. We're not masseuses and masseurs. We're licensed massage therapists now. It took us a lot to get accredited, okay? When it comes to knowing people, it's not just men, it's women too, who have never had body work done,
Right.
properly done. They may have a husband or a wife or a loved one, a child that hugs them, but to never have body work properly done on them, I feel sad for them. I
Mm.
so feel sad for them because they don't realize where their body is being controlled.
Mm.
Okay. The brain is complex as the brain is, focuses on our heightened pain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Our brain itself has no pain. The coating on top of it feels pain, but you can have open brain surgery and not feel it while you're wide awake.
Wow.
Okay. But the rest of the body has all this stuff that coats it that is painful. If
Mm.
But the brain's going to focus on what's the heightened. So guess where? I'm gonna ask you, where do you think people complain the most about their pains? What is the number one complaint people come in and tell me?
I would probably say if they came to you, it
Hmm.
was probably their back,
Specifically.
lower back.
Okay. It's actually the upper shoulders. It's the upper shoulder area, the upper trap, middle trap. Lower back is usually secondary. For men, men have a tendency to have lower back issues, but women are stronger in our core down.
Mm-hmm.
Men are stronger in their upper body, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just evolution. That's just part of God's making for us, that you guys were meant to be stronger for physical labor. We were meant stronger for labor, period.
Sure.
So I do see the weakness in men in their lower back and a weakness in women in their upper back. And the majority of my clients are women, by the way. The upper body is a nervous system regulatory area.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the energy and all the excitement that we feel and all the negative that we're dealing with spiritually, energetically, however you want to cover it, it all absorbs through our shoulders.
Wow.
Whether you're dealing as a teacher or a doctor or cop or whatever you're doing socially, you're dealing with people, that's where you regulate, okay? That's where nervous system regulation comes from. And that's why so many people are like this or they're like this. Because that's where we hold. And I'll have people come to me and say, I just want you to work my shoulders for an hour. And I'll say, no. And they're like, what? I'm like, we need to give the whole body the ability to decompress, which is going to balance that energy and dysregulate all the stuff that's happening up here.
Right.
So when I do get up to that area, I'm not hitting a brick wall.
Right.
And that's a big challenge with a lot of therapists going straight. And this was just what I had to learn from elder people, right? Pastors learn from their elders. I learned from the people who were smarter than me. Don't go straight for the problem.
Right.
You have to figure out what's causing it. And most people, the cause is that their whole parasympathetic is out of control. We're in a very stressful society right now. We're over screened. We're looking down. We're typing too much. We're holding phones and devices, and we're not allowing ourselves to open wide. And so that's where I feel sad for people who don't understand where massage therapy benefits them, to allow them to know their bodies better, to let go better, and not rely on pain meds and alcohol and drugs.
Sure.
And every other thing.
All the Band-Aids to the pain and the wreckage that our bodies are being put through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that brings me to another point that, I'm fascinated by the things I don't know. I love learning, and I love how things are connected, and things are connected in a way that doesn't seem obvious. And so the lymphatic system, lymph nodes, and the ability of these little pockets to be able to perform or to provide the body with things. And if that's not working well, a whole series of other things that you would never connect are a problem to something as simple as a lymphatic problem. So where did you, because I know it's part of what your ministry and what you're doing does is not only the awareness of it, but how to be able to work through it, to be able to revive some of these systems where now that's going to create other benefits.
Yes.
And so obviously, I mean, you've had patients that have been through difficult things, and they're not connecting the dots. And you're the one that's able to kind of educate them into these things, and it's going to release an emotional people will cry on your table.
I just had one cry on my table Saturday.
And
I was
they
like,
don't
girl,
know,
let
they
it
don't
out.
know why.
Yes.
And
they don't know why.
And they feel like this is a problem. It's not a
It's not a
problem.
problem.
You are releasing the energy and the chemicals.
There is an emotional science behind how our fascia connects to trauma and emotion. And so there's different areas in the body that store in different ways. So a lot of times shoulders are the grief area. Hips are like anxiety and fear. The stomach is nervousness and fear. So anger. There's certain areas of the body that will store certain emotions differently. But going back to the lymphatic. So when I first graduated in '97, we were told we didn't know anything about the lymphatic system. We knew it was a system, but we were not trained to understand it at that level. And we were told that people with cancer were not in our jurisdiction. We couldn't touch people with cancer. Okay. The girl that I learned lymphatic drainage from, Barbara White out of Beaumont, Texas, phenomenal massage therapist. She's been practicing about the same time frame as I have, but she ignored all that. She went straight into learning the lymphatic system from two of the best scientists that based their and doctors that had the knowledge about it. So she now has a school operating. She has 36 practitioners. She probably has more by this point, but she's got that many working at MD Anderson now, working on cancer patients
Wow.
because they understand the importance of the lymphatic system. If any system, when it comes to preventing disease, it is the lymphatic system. It is what regulates our viral intake, our load. It helps us, eliminate the mold in our body, which down here is horrible for
Oh,
most
yeah.
people. It helps parasitic death, like it helps us kill parasites, but mainly bacterial infections. Like it is a way for us to really prevent bacterial infections. And so because I'm going to go back to this word, sedentary, the lymphatic system is like, this is my analogy, and I know it sounds crazy. It's like the New Orleans pumping system. Imagine the New Orleans pumps that haven't been turned on in a few years because we don't have a reason to turn them on. And then all of a sudden you switch the lid, right? And all of a sudden you have all these canals that are coming into this one pumping system, and all of a sudden the pumping system gets overloaded
Right.
and it fails. That's kind of the same concept about lymphatic drainage. So it's estimated that we have like 800 lymph nodes or more in our body. I've learned 2,000, but every kind of book says something different. But we have hundreds of them that are focusing on how to push out and bring in. It correlates with the cardiovascular system. It pumps just like little hearts. They look like little pea pod hearts,
Wow.
right? They're clustered in our armpits and in our bikini line and in our core. We don't have many in our legs or arms, but all the vessels that bring our fluid in are activated through the lymph nodes. So proper lymphatic drainage is done in a mapping system. There is a big misconception about what you will see on Instagram or TikTok, and you'll see Brazilian lymphatic massage. Lymphatic and massage, there is lymphatic massage, but there's not a drainage involved. So lymphatic drainage has no heat, no moisture, no rubbing, no gloves. It is literally stop, go. It's directional. It's pumping the lymph nodes and getting the fluid directional, okay? But it's very important to map it correctly so you don't back it up like a plumbing system would be, okay? Lymphatic massage or contouring, or what do they call it? Sculpting. Sculpting massages are very aggressive to the core. I do those as well. They're very aggressive to the core. You can walk in and then an hour later look like you've lost 3 inches. I'm pushing fluid around. I'm pushing colon matter around. I'm getting your small intestine to flow a little bit better. I'm not removing fat cells from your body. I'm
Right.
literally just pushing fluids around to make your core look smaller, okay? What you do with that after you leave is on you. But there's a lot of celebrities who will do lymphatic massage and claim that it's drainage. It's not. There's a specific technique to drainage. And Barbara told me that was going to be the biggest problem, is educating people on the differences.
Wow.
So lymphatic drainage is super, super shallow. It is not aggressive. The vessels are about 1 millimeter underneath our skin. So it's a super soft touch. And I don't, even when I do lymphatic drainage, I don't expect those people to come to me regularly for that, because it's not something that regularly needs to be done once you learn it on your own. So my education, what they pay me is to do the service, but also teach them how to do it at home.
Wow.
I do it on myself every day. I do some level of lymphatic drainage every day. And it helps with getting your skin looking better. You're able to fight off, viruses and all these different things that are going on in your system because your lymphatic system is not sluggish. So sedentary lifestyle makes those lymphatic nodes just kind of, they're lazy. They're kind of taking a break. That's why vibrational plates have gotten so big lately.
Right.
Because people who sit at a desk, they can use the vibrational plates and it helps at least get something moving. So most of the clients who are coming to me right now, they're coming for post-operative. So whether they've had a tummy tuck or a breast lift, or I've had one woman who had 40 lymph nodes removed because of cancer. Some of the post-operative, which you have to be certified. If you're getting post-operative lymphatic drainage and she is not a certified licensed massage therapist, do not go to her. Okay, these licensed therapists who are doing post-operative without that extra certification, it is incorrect. Okay. There is a protection for the client, not for me.
Mm-hmm.
You want someone who knows what they're doing. Okay. So Barbara, I took her class as well to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that I knew that aspect. And that's what I see mainly is how to get these women recovered quicker from their
Sure.
plastic surgery, whether it's elective or whether they've had trauma done to their body because of pregnancies. They'll come to me for the lymphatic drainage. And then I'll teach them how to do contouring for themselves because it's a different technique. And it helps relieve that tension and the pressure that they have from surgery.
So would you consider the greatest benefit of that particular type of massage to be
Mhm.
on the other side of a cancer patient's recovery, or is there something on the front end where what damages the lymphatic system that may be environmental? We don't necessarily
Mhm.
know that that's what's happening
Mhm.
in the things that we eat or the products that we put in our bodies or
Mhm.
our sunscreen or whatever the
All
case
of
may
it.
be
Mhm.
that is hurting our lymphatic system,
Mhm.
and thereby the chain reaction of the
Mhm.
other things that are gonna cause problems, the lack of drainage, the backing up, which
Mhm.
great analogy, in
I
the
know
pump
it's
system in the wall. And
pumps and
for those that don't understand, I mean
yeah.
that's totally classic
Yeah.
because it's not even just that the water is coming and backing up and it can't move as fast, but it's the baggage in the water, it's the
Mhm.
trash in the
Mhm.
water that is coming into that
Mhm.
pump system that's needing to get out. Otherwise, it's going to create a
Mhm.
problem. It's not going to be able to go
You've
anywhere.
heard of the aorta in the body. Most people know what the
Right.
aorta is, even if you don't know anatomy. So the aorta is what brings all that fluid from our legs up into our core, underneath our rib cage, and goes into the thoracic ducts and dumps into the liver.
Mm.
So lifestyle, diet, the aorta can be clogged. And it's causing lower body lymph issues. You're not getting the lymph that you need to circulate up into the rest of your core where it can dump into the liver.
Mm.
The liver is like the bad pumps in New Orleans.
Wow.
Okay. Our liver is our detox center. And when you're doing lymphatic drainage, you're bringing every single piece of fluid possibly through the ducts. The ducts are through the lymph nodes to the ducts to the liver.
Mm.
So sometimes I tell people you may have a side effect. If you didn't come to me prepared, if you didn't like drink lemon water, or you're super toxic, if you overdrink alcohol.
Hmm.
Alcohol is a poison, people. It is poisonous to every organ in our system, including the liver, especially the liver.
Probably by design.
I can actually smell when people overdrink. They smell
Mm.
like garlic. Their liver's producing enzymes to like filter it out. But when people drink and then get lymphatic drainage, they can get sick
Wow.
because the liver's receiving all this canal junk coming from all over your body all at one time, and it's going to break down eventually. You're going to get a headache, or you're going to get nauseated. You might feel like you have the flu. I didn't make you sick. Your own body made you sick. Once the liver processes it, it drops it into the kidneys. Then
Right.
the little bitty kidney beans have to decide what they're going to do with what they have left over to deal with. And usually they're just getting rid of salt.
And
And
when
then
you're
it
not
dumps into
drinking enough in the first place, you're not moving
You're not
that
moving.
fluid.
You're not moving. So I tell people, they say, oh, I hear a 10-minute walk a day. Yes. Walking is the easiest exercise out there. Vibrational plates it's what we call biohacking now.
Hmm.
It's a way to biohack, like the red light therapy and,
Again, we just want
grounding
it
sheets.
fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'd rather not do it the slower way, but anything works better than nothing.
And biohacking is a new wave right now. But even if you're going to biohack your way into health, I'm okay with that. You're doing something in the
Right.
sense, right? But walking is such a minimum effort. It is one of the most imperative exercises out there. But the best lymphatic drainage exercise is swimming.
Wow.
Swimming, the water pressure and the poundage of the water on the skin is just enough pressure to activate the vessels.
Well, when you mention it's a light
It's very
1
light.
millimeter thing,
Very, very light.
that makes perfect sense because that amount of surface
Mhm.
tension that is now on your whole body,
Mhm.
and especially once you start moving and you're putting pressure against it,
Mhm.
it's not rough, it's not
Nope.
hard, it's not hurtful or
Mhm.
painful, but it definitely would create just enough of that surface tension to be able to get those little
The
pumps
vessels,
moving.
if you notice most swimmers, how toned they are.
Hmm.
It's not just the muscular aspect of what they're doing, it's because their lymph is healthy. They're moving that lymph around. And that releases toxins, it releases all those preservatives that cause us to be puffy.
Hmm.
And I don't mean puffy in a weight issue. I mean just puffy. Like you can tell when people's cortisol levels are high, they're puffy. Their faces are puffier. They're just puffy.
And so that at that point, there's no easy fix. There's no like, hey, just drink this. Hey, just do this. Hey, just it's a whole it's an
It's
awareness
an
that
awareness.
creates a lifestyle
Mhm.
choice that you can create those habits.
It's minimum changes. Get rid of aspartame. Diet Coke is the secondary devil outside of alcohol. Okay, I'm gonna put them in order of worst inflammation.
Please,
Sugar,
this would be great.
sugar, alcohol, aspartame. Sugar is the devil. It's literally killing people every day. We now have type 3 diabetes, which is sad. Alcohol. $1 trillion last year in alcohol sales. Okay,
Wow.
instead of going get body work done to make themselves feel better with serotonin, we're alcohol in it. And I don't drink alcohol. I've been social with alcohol, but I don't drink because I hate the way it makes me feel. Okay, and then third, aspartame. Aspartame, people don't understand it. It is a level. It gets into our adipose tissue and our fat cells and actually expands them. And when they're expanded at that level, that fascial tissue that is embedded in it hurts.
Wow.
So people who are on Diet Cokes thinking they're saving themselves usually have a little bit of weight issues, okay? They're more sensitive. Their fascia is being pressed and it's being expanded more and it hurts more because that tissue is being expanded more. So those are my 3 levels of like what we should not put in our bodies or at least avoid at all costs.
Well, I haven't heard it quite put that way, but that's a great way to look at it. And then again, it's a simple way to look at your choices, the choices that have been made, and what is contributing greatly. And even if you took it little by little and just said, "Hey, let's get rid of aspartame in every form first. Bye-bye. Now let's reduce or eliminate alcohol, probably the easiest next step. And then let's eliminate and then reduce sugar. And then from there, you create that good habit, that alternative. And, it's a great way to help to develop a better version of you that is going to create your thoughts. It's going to create a joy,
Yes,
a peacefulness, as I like to say, a contentment. And,
I want to read this real quick.
Yeah.
I think that it's going to be really, really quick. I saved it when I saw it and I was like, man, this is powerful. So it said, the devil isn't just after your mind. He's after your nervous system. Because if he can dysregulate your cortisol, he can drain your energy. He can disrupt your hormones. He can destroy your focus and he can keep you stuck in survival mode. He doesn't have to ruin your life. He just needs to keep your body out of alignment. But you weren't called to live inflamed. You weren't called to live exhausted and overwhelmed. You were called to walk in peace, power, and his purpose for you. This isn't weakness. This is warfare, spiritual warfare. And it's time to fight back.
What a powerful way to look at that.
Isn't it? This is a girl that I follow on Instagram. She always takes everything that our bodies are fighting and she does what I say. I always say the devil. When people say, you always say the devil. And I say, look at the devil as just a whole of everything negative. He's just
steal, kill, and destroy.
He's just a little umbrella. He's just the name of the umbrella. We have pain body. We have financial struggles. We have health struggles. We have mental struggles. But the biggest thing is we have spiritual struggles.
Absolutely.
And he's on the top. So when I say the devil, I mean it all.
Yeah.
I mean, you're eating bad food. You're allowing our society to believe that we can eat whatever we want, whenever we want it with no consequence.
Right.
Again, I practice what I preach. Everyone who knows me knows my diet is very strict. I'm not vegan, by the way. We need meat. We need meat. We were made to eat meat. We need meat. But
I'm in violent agreement with you.
So it's one of those things where I do practice what I preach with confidence, because if I can't say it correctly, then I'm a hypocrite. And hypocrisy is one of my biggest weaknesses. My dad was a hypocrite. I couldn't stand it. Any supplement that I take, I do the research. I guinea pig myself. I try it on myself first for a few months, a year or two, to see what it's doing for me before I say, I think that would work for someone else. Now, I can't diagnose.
Right.
But I will suggest and advise to people, this is what worked for me. This is possibly what could work for you.
That's part of your testimony.
Yes, it's my testimony.
And then nobody can refute that.
I had IBS severe as a kid. In my 20s, I thought I was dying from cyst rupturing on my ovaries. I was highly allergic to cow's milk and didn't know it. Had to give up cow's milk, gluten, even eggs. I don't eat them anymore because they're so inflammatory for me personally. I don't know if you knew this. My sister died of stage 4 estrogen receptive breast cancer 10 years ago. I am an advocate for mammograms. I actually just had one this morning before I came here. Every single time they find something, every single time it's nothing. But I have to go. I wish I could say I could skip 5 years, but I don't want to go through what she went through. It was horrible. And so I practice what I preach. I drink bougie water. I don't drink out of plastic. I don't touch plastic. My water goes from the taps at Whole Foods. I don't even want to know where they're coming from, but the taps at Whole Foods, I drink out of a copper cup.
Yeah, we were about
I
to.
drink
We've been looking at a copper pitcher
copper
for
pitchers.
something
Yeah,
similar.
that they say if you can drink out of copper for about 14 days, you'll see the lack of inflammation in your body.
Wow.
We're just deficient of these natural minerals, right? And copper is not put in houses anymore. Plastic is.
Right.
The plumbing doesn't have that anymore.
Right, because it's
So
cheaper.
we're having to biohack.
Yep.
Drinking out of copper cups and copper this is biohacking, right? Even the hydrogen cups.
Right.
We're just not moving enough to get enough hydrogen in our system, right? So all these different things play a role in how we hydrate. I mean, for instance, you talked about Johnny. Johnny has his IV company. Like, he's a big advocate for weight loss and coaching, but he also does the IVs. IVs are phenomenal. Not everyone believes in them, but let me tell you, when I had surgery and woke up from an IV, I looked the freshest I had ever looked.
Wow.
So I get them monthly now.
Now, what's in that? Because that's one of the things that most people wouldn't connect the dots.
I can't answer that. I am
as
gonna.
to general, because even though when you mention water, water's good. Water with magnesium better. Water with sodium better. So that the way that your body absorbs the water and how it does its job, you're either hurting it or you're making it more efficient at doing its job. And even then, like, the chemicals that are still in water, even if you got it out of a copper pitcher, it had to get there somehow.
Somewhere, yes.
And so what was in it in the first place? So unless you're like, distilling the water
Right.
and taking it through a reduction or a burning away of the things that are harmful in the water in the first place. But how many people have a little still in their backyard just
Not
to be able
many
to
people.
purify the water?
Not many people.
Which is also annoying. Rainwater is a great filter, or can be a great filter, as opposed to I have to get everything from a bottled only source or the faucet, and whatever the city did to it to get it to you might not be the best depending on where you live.
It's not. There's a big challenge with that. When my sister passed away, I started to research water intake and how it affects the estrogen levels in women. And that was the biggest thing, is microplastics. Microplastics and plastics are the biggest reason why cancers are increased, right?
Wow.
This is my nerd knowledge coming into play. This is just me learning and wanting to prevent. And try to help people and give them that knowledge, because I see a lot of women with breast cancer, and it saddens me. I see women who have fought for 15 years. I've seen clients who have fought and lost. My sister lost. Like, it's sad to me that there's small changes, like not drinking out of plastic. It's bad for us. It gets in the cells. Our body doesn't know what to do with it, so our body focuses on it, and then your body doesn't focus on cancer cells. So when the cancer cell is fed from something, your body's too preoccupied fighting off these microplastics. So it's not sending the white blood cells and red blood cells to fight off these cancer cells. So that's how cancer exacerbates, in a sense. But alkaline water, in my opinion, is the best version of water to do. It is not a prevent-all. It doesn't cure us, but it gives our body that lack of acidity, which most bottled waters are. They're acidic already. I'm not even going to say them because I'd probably get sued, but they're horrible for us. They're acidic. So you're literally, the more acidic you are, the less healthy you are, not just for cancer, but for inflammation.
Right.
Because inflammation's my thing. More alkaline you are, the better your body feels, the less achy you are, the less your joints are achy, right? But when you say magnesium, I'll have people that say, I drink a gallon of water a day. And I'll say, but are you taking any minerals? Well, what do you mean? Are you taking any minerals?
Right.
Are you taking specific minerals like magnesium or potassium or anything like that? We need magnesium in our cells to absorb water. And so, yeah, I think that's great that you're not drinking Coke and you're not drinking alcohol, but you're drinking water, but we need magnesium. That's why you're peeing it so much, right? So there are some things that I try to tweak with people, even though I think that's great that they're doing better. There's still things that can maximize us and give us better results if we do small changes.
Well, I think that powerful that powerful message dovetails well into, Johnny also made a great little timeline of when you fast, what happens to your body? What does your body do
Mhm.
in these hours and
Mhm.
these hours and these hours? And once you get to a certain point, your body basically gets to go,
Take a deep breath. I got something else to read for you real quick. I think you'll enjoy this. I don't know where I got this from, but it said Jesus died at the age of 33. The human spine has 33 vertebrae. The same structure that holds us up is the same number of years he held the earth. We have 12 ribs on each side, 12 disciples, 12 tribes of Israel. God built his design into our bones. He wrote heaven in our anatomy. Okay. This is why look, you can see the Holy Spirit's talking to me right now. I got goosebumps. The vagus nerve, which is where we have cortisol and dysregulation. The vagus nerve is one of the most imperative nerves in our body for stress. The vagus nerve runs from the brain to your heart and gut. It calms storms inside the body. It looks just like a cross in the body. That's the power source and running through us. Every time your body heals, every time your heart slows in prayer, every time peace shows up when it shouldn't, that's him. Jesus rose on the third day, and science tells us that when you fast for 3 days, 72 hours, your body starts to regenerate. Old cells die off, new ones are born, healing begins, and your body literally resurrects itself. That's not coincidence, that's by design. And it keeps going. Your heart has an electrical rhythm. Your brain lights up when you pray. Tears contain different chemicals depending on if you're crying from joy or grief. The blood speaks. The bones store memory. The body worships whether you realize it or not. Whether you're fearfully and wonderfully made, we are walking prophecies, walking tabernacles, dust and divinity in one. He didn't just create you. God carved himself into you.
wow.
You did.
Send that to me. I want to put that
It's
into
so good, isn't
this.
it?
It's phenomenal.
I love
And what a
it.
great way to
And
connect all
look how
those
quick the Holy
dots.
Spirit hit me when I started
Oh yeah.
preaching it. It's
Because
like,
truth.
because it's truth.
It is
Yeah.
truth.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
and I used to say it like this. If people only realized how special we are
Mhm.
as God's creation, and almost like paint this picture in heaven where God has finished making man, and he is empowered with a
Mhm.
whole nother level
Mhm.
of capabilities beyond anything else that God had made to that
Mhm.
point. And he is capable of this and this and this and this, and he can do phenomenal things. And he literally has this power that is beyond his mind to be able to conceive.
Mhm.
And the devil slips in and says, I'll convince him that he's just a man and he
You
doesn't
saw
have
how
any
you
power.
saw my face how I got emotional when you were saying that, because I see it every day. I see people who don't understand that their body was a temple that God gave them, and they abuse it all day long. They abuse it every day, every minute, and then they come to someone like me and they think I'm going to fix their brokenness, and I can't.
Right.
I don't want to be Jesus Christ. He had way too much on his belt. I am not a fixer. Like, I want to help people heal themselves, but there's times when I go home and I lay out and surrender. I literally sleep like this.
Wow.
And I say, God, just take it from me. I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
There's sometimes when I'm in session and if I'm working on someone's neck, all of a sudden my neck hurts.
Mm.
And I'll say, God, I don't want it. I say it out loud.
Wow.
They hear me say, God, I don't want it.
Mm.
I don't want it. So I can't imagine Jesus trying to heal people,
Mm-hmm.
but he also asked before he did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, remember if you told me that or someone told me that at church, that Jesus asked before he healed.
Yes. So that was a powerful thing. I mean, and The Chosen does a really good job of kind of conveying some of that interpersonal body language that's happening, because Jesus could have just run and you're healed and you're healed and you're healed and he doesn't. He's a gentleman. And you have to ask for the healing for him to initiate that, because free will is still in play. So just because it would be good doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen automatically. You have to be able to reach out and receive that which
Exactly.
is being offered. It is being offered for free. He
Mhm.
gave his life on the cross for people to receive the
Mhm.
free gift of
Mhm.
eternity. Now, here's the other thing that this is again, there was a scene so well portrayed where little John, who was disabled, was sent out to go heal others. And I don't know whether, the Holy Spirit, there's no
Mhm.
mistakes, right? So when Dallas cast the actor that was going to play Little John, the scene that was going to come up and how this unfolded spoke to not only me, but millions of other
Mhm.
people where um, eternity, you're going to get a new body.
Mhm.
But between here and there, as Ecclesiastes says, it's just a puff of smoke.
Mhm.
Our body's just a puff of smoke. Our life is just a little puff of smoke.
Mhm.
But in that, you can still have healing.
Yeah.
You can still have a benefit. You can still have the power that God gives you
Mhm.
if you choose to take it.
Mhm.
And so the amazingly powerful comment of you don't need healing to know that I am the Son of God.
Mhm.
You believe despite this.
Yes.
There are many that won't believe until they've seen that miracle.
Mhm.
And so to be able to go through, so many cancer patients like, God, why, if you were real, why wouldn't you heal me?
Mhm.
Oh, I am real. And the blood of Christ has healed you, and you will be free indeed.
Mhm.
But what does that look like? If you have such shallow faith to go through and I have to be happy, I have to be healthy, at some point these very healthy, happy people are going to die.
Mhm.
That's kind of
Mhm.
we're not going to
Yeah.
be here forever.
Exactly.
So the opportunity to live while you're living,
Mhm.
love while you're here, help other people, bless
Mhm.
other people, there's nothing in it for me, and give uncontrollably,
Exactly.
and God will return
Return.
all of that over and over. Now, look, I mean, I Santa Claus from time to
Yes.
time, and I love when people go, "Hey, so what do you do?" I'm an international professional giver.
That's so hilarious. I love it.
And when I embody
Mhm.
that I care about you,
Mhm.
nobody ever thinks twice about, hey, so Santa, what do you need? What would you like for Christmas?
Mhm.
It's a super rare question, but I'm concerned. And Lord, what can I do to bless this
Mhm.
person?
Mhm.
How can I be a conduit of your love?
Mhm.
Help me, show me what it is that they need heard. What positive word can I say to
Mhm.
them? How can I encourage them? How can I pray for them? And I can't just pray, I have to act. I have to do something. And that do something may be I'm going to come alongside you, I'm going to help you, I'm going to
Mhm.
fix something.
Mhm.
So like when Christmas presents and things are going up
Is
and I see this talented lady struggling with Christmas stuff on a ladder at high stuff and I'm like, that lady needs some help.
And it's funny you say struggling. I'm just enjoying it because that's my secondary. But the it's funny because I do look like I'm struggling when I'm decorating, but I'm really not. Like I really thoroughly enjoy it. It is Derek and I. We always say who gets to enjoy putting Christmas up to celebrate Jesus' birthday because obviously I love big birthdays. My children always had big birthdays, but to be able to provide and decorate for Jesus' birthday and get paid for it,
Yeah,
not a
what a
bad
blessing.
gig. Not a bad gig.
And you're pretty good at it.
Going back to the whole your comment because it kind of triggered me. The whole comment about what you would want, right,
Mhm.
as Santa Claus, or are you portraying that? It's funny because people come to me. I get used a lot. I get used a lot, and I don't have people say, "How can I help you as a therapist?
Right.
What could I do to make my session better for you?"
Mm. To have come properly prepared, for instance, or how could I have blessed you?
What would me as a client do differently to help my session or help you make my session better?
Mm.
And it's the simplest things like hydrate.
Mhm.
Hydrate a few days before you get a massage. But no one asks me what, because I'm the giver.
Right.
I'm the one giving.
Mhm.
But what they don't understand is that they have to be in the room and they have to be active in their own healing. I
Sure.
can't do it. I'm not him. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I want to help people heal themselves. I don't want to heal people.
But that's
It's too much responsibility.
But that's a great that's a great perspective that crosses over not just in restricting your ability to help them, but in essence restricting God's ability to help them too. Because if you are not willing to receive, if as Jesus said in the little pool of Bethsaida, do you want to be healed?
I'll tell people your body's going to talk to me. I have enough experience underneath these fingers. I can do this with my eyes closed upside down in a black room. I can feel every single muscle in your body without even looking. Okay. Let your body talk to me. Your body's going to tell me what level of pressure you need, where I need to focus on. It's going to do all that for you. I need you to get out of your head. I need you to lose control. I need you to stop trying so hard to be in control of what's happening at that point. Trust is a big deal in massage practice, trust. And I have really, really honed into my integrity as far as who I am and what I have to offer, especially doing it this long, okay?
Wow.
But the point I'm trying to make is that most people don't ask what they need to do to receive a massage or what they should be doing to receive a massage. And when they come to me, they know I'm going to give them some level of fix. I'm not fixing them 100%, but I'm going to give them some level of fix. What they're going to feel is changed. I'll be honest with you. Some people leave me and say, I think you just beat me up. And I'll say, well, give it about 48 hours and you'll thank me later. And that's usually what the body does. The body takes control. Massage therapy is basically a type of, I hate to use the word damage, but it's almost a level of damage to the tissue. It's kneading and molding the tissue in order for it to let go and do its own job. The immune system comes in and heals what I've done. So the deeper work, the neuromuscular work, the fascial rejuvenation work, God's going to bring himself into the room and heal you from what I'm offering your body. Does that make sense?
Very much so.
Yeah.
So in essence, one of the things that I think is there's no one shot. Like I got a massage last year, I'm good.
It hurts my heart.
So
when I'll say, when was your last massage? 5 years ago, I just put my head down. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna let you know we're gonna do what we can do today, okay? Because I'm not a fixer. Like I can't fix you. In my 20s, because I was so naive, I thought I could fix the world, and it ended me up in career psychology. I was in a psychologist's office, okay? Because I was naive, I was young, I hadn't experienced pain, and I thought I could fix everybody. I'm pumped. I'm gonna fix the world. Newer massage therapists, you're not fixing anything. And I tell them, know your value. Know your value financially, know your value in your time and your energy and who you're going to give to and who you're not. Because I can tell you out of the 25,000 people I've worked on, maybe only 5,000 of those people became regular clients who regularly repeated me. 20,000 of those people would come and go. They'd come in, it would be a fling. That's what I call it. It would be a little fling professionally and it was gone. They moved to the next person.
So you have a daily opportunity to take care of yourself. And then what would you recommend as like and obviously the age and what's their profession is going to differ, but what would you say a recipe of a sustained level of that relationship with a good massage therapist that's going to be able to help someone through a bigger arc of, let's say, 20 years. Pick a 20-year cycle. What does that look like on a monthly or yearly basis? And obviously that's purposely not looking at it like, oh, I only did that for this little period of time and now I don't need it anymore.
So early in my career, like around the 2000 range, time and money obviously are the two indicators of what people can do. People with money don't have time and people with time don't have money. So being massage therapy was always in the luxury range of it being a luxury. Mostly the 1%ers, 5%ers of the area would be my clientele. They had the time and they had the money. So they would take the time off because they had companies or they were doctors or whatever they'd prioritize. I did, and I also had people who would scratch and save to get a massage. Back then, I had people who would pre-book months in advance. They put it part of their regimen for health. I've seen a shift, and a lot of my massage therapist friends see the same complaints. People are last minute these days. And they're last minute, and they wait, and they wake up in the morning and say, oh, I got a crick in my neck. Well, that crick in your neck didn't happen last night. It happened over a 2-month, 3-month period that you waited too long to get body work done or to see a chiropractor or to hydrate better or to stretch. And now you're trying to get in immediately with a therapist the same day.
And
Most of
thinking that
us,
it's going to actually work to
mhm,
100%
yeah,
fix it.
most therapists are booked same day. It's very rare to find a therapist who you can just walk in on.
Right.
And honestly, I don't even want to take those people because they don't respect my time. Okay.
Hmm.
So the majority of my clients who have put this in a regimen, I have a weekly client that comes, I have a lot of weekly clients that come to me, but specifically this one guy, he ended up having, he was a doctor, he is a doctor, but he ended up having a situation where he had a tumor in his face, had it removed. They messed up one of the nerves in his face, and he can't practice medicine as much as he used to. And his commitment to himself is that he was going to receive massage every week.
Mm.
He lost a lot of his life because of this ailment, and he wanted to replace it with something. And he is religious when he comes to me. He comes to me every single week, even if we have to deter days. But he's the same spot every week, and he makes sure. And then I do have a few other clients who do the same thing. I have an attorney who comes. Him and his wife come to me every single week. I have another guy who works from home, comes to me every other week. Most people who do it weekly have committed to it.
Right.
It's a different level of commitment. They make the means for it. Okay.
And would you say in an ideal world, is that
Monthlies are really, I feel like the monthly
so
regimen,
monthly's a pretty good,
that's
a pretty good
for
recipe,
wellness and maintenance.
not necessarily weekly, maybe weekly for a while and then get into
Right.
monthly.
Right. If you're going to go and get if you've never had a massage before and you go in and you get a 60-minute, let's say, which I don't do well with 60 minutes. I'm usually a 90-minute therapist because I'm slow. Like I deliberately am slow because fascia doesn't like quick movements.
Hmm.
If you're going to do a 60-minute massage and have certain areas worked on more or less, you're going to have a backlash. Your body's not going to like it the next day or
Hmm.
two. So that comes out, sometimes that puts fear in people that massage hurts.
Right.
Even if it's not a rough massage or deep tissue massage, even Swedish repeatedly done will cause tissue damage. Okay.
Sure.
It's rubbing, right? So whether you have deep tissue or Swedish massage, you still could be in pain after the
Sure.
massage. I've had a woman be in pain after lymphatic drainage.
Mm.
She was in her 70s. She was older. Just the small touch of lymphatic made her hurt. Okay.
Mm.
Because she didn't move. She was sedentary. If you can get through that point and get yourself in at least every 2 weeks, and then get yourself to the point where you do once a month, then you can get yourself to the point of every quarter.
Mm.
But if you're going once a year, you're only doing it for luxury.
Mm.
You're just doing it for the luxury of it. You're really not getting any benefit long-term from one massage a year.
So it sounds like just as if you're going to make a diet and you're going to make some changes to your life on a daily basis, this turns into, let's take another look at the calendar and let's not just make daily choices or weekly choices, but let's make monthly choices and start to put this, just like we would schedule a haircut.
Yes.
We would schedule a haircut out and trying to get that, but start to create that relationship. Now, would you recommend potentially having a number of different massage therapists that may do things a little bit differently? Or is it better to just kind of find one, stick with one that knows you and can take care of you on a more regular basis?
Ooh, that's a double-edged sword question. Obviously, for retention purposes and business, we want to see the same person. It's easier for us to help that person
And
when we see the same person.
But someone like you
But
may be booked up.
I may be booked up. But at the same time, you're correct. If I'm not your vibe and I don't work for you, I don't want you to shut yourself down from receiving more.
Right.
Go see another therapist. If you don't like her, go see another therapist. We have a lot of therapists in this state, in the world. Just because I'm not your cup of tea doesn't mean that you won't enjoy massage therapy. And I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm just not. I'm very confident in what I do. I'm very driven by what I do, and I know it's my purpose. So if you challenge me, I'm going to challenge you back. And it's not me really challenging you. It's my need to heal you at some level, whether you're coming in there spiritually, emotionally, or mentally, physically broken. Like I can feel it. I know where I'm going to stand in that person's life and why they're there. And I'll have people say it all the time. It's like God just knew. Well, it was Google, but it was probably God too. I mean, he found me on Google. But if you think that God sent you, then we're going to roll with it, But it's true. I do believe that every person is brought to me for a specific reason. Yeah.
So where do you see the craft, or where do you see the profession kind of go? And ultimately, do you feel as if people are being a little bit more educated about the benefits of it to the degree that obviously it's on an individual basis.
Yes, yes.
Everything is really kind of on that individual basis.
Hmm.
But where are some of the big wins in your profession? And what I mean by that is you mentioned cancer patients,
Hmm.
people who are either dealing with or going through it, or maybe have come through on the other
Hmm.
side. But, my cute wife having 5 kids,
Hmm.
every time when she was pregnant, there was always an opportunity to receive some massage therapy while pregnant and even afterwards.
So pregnancies, women, is the biggest trauma your body will ever go through.
Right.
It's the biggest blessing bringing a spiritual entity into the physical world, but is the biggest traumatic event your body will go through. And I have seen women who have had to have reconstructive surgery from core down because of childbirth.
Mm.
So if you have children, and a lot of women who come to me who have had children, even if it was 20 years ago, they still hold that trauma. Okay.
Mm.
Remember, Fascia remembers everything, even if you were a baby. If anything I can recommend to pregnant women, not only for the comfort of the pregnancy to receive body work, but immediately get body work done when your doctor tells you you're able to be touched.
Hmm.
Because the pelvic, the hip, all that core issue that's being expanded, and the iliopsoas muscle and the ilium, all these muscles that are imperative for us standing up straight are now compromised. Okay.
Mm.
We have all this extra weight pulling us down. Those hip incisors and all those different muscles and even the gluteal muscles are stressed out. Get body work done immediately afterwards, not only for the physical aspect, but for the spiritual aspect, to release all that negativity that's been
Sure.
stored from the pregnancy. It's a lot on us. It really is. And I think that what I learned in my most recent continuing education unit was that Black females have the worst trauma in pregnancy.
Wow.
And I don't know why specifically, but they do recognize that they have the most traumas. So body work is imperative to be able to get a few massages right after you deliver.
Hmm.
It's hard. You're taking care of a brand new baby. You're coming off of
Sure.
progesterone and hormones and all this stuff. But get that body work done so in 20 years you're not walking crooked and you don't have sciatica. Like, it's very imperative. Whereas for men, a lot of men, y'all don't sleep right. I don't know what it is about men. Y'all don't sleep correctly. Y'all either have too big of pillows and your chin is too tucked in,
I'm
or
trying to avoid snoring.
yeah,
I had to sleep in such a
yeah.
way that I could try to avoid snoring.
The challenge is that most men sleep on their sides and they don't we don't properly know how to rest correctly, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're not propping our necks correctly. We're either overextending it or we're underextending it,
Mm-hmm.
or your knees should never be locked and there never should be touching while we're sleeping. Okay.
Yeah, I sleep with a
So
pillow between my knees.
if you've ever been
Learned
to a
that a long
massage
time ago.
therapist, yeah, she's got a bolster underneath your knees. With your face in the face crest, your spine is straight. Like, there's a reason why massage tables were built the way they were built, is so you can be anatomically correct, so you can get into rest and digestion.
Wow.
Okay. So I try to tell people, if I know structurally they're not correct on my table, it's because of the way they're sleeping wrong. If their hip is too high, I'll
Mm-hmm.
say, do you, I can tell, do you sleep on your left side? Yes. I'm like, that's why your right hip is so high. Put something in between your knees while you're
Mm.
sleeping at night,
Yep.
right? Or put something underneath them. Even if I'm stomach lying because I'm stretching and in the early mornings, I still have something underneath my ankles, just like if I
Mm-hmm.
had a massage. So rest and digestion is very important in how we structure our bodies. I sleep on my back with my hands out, just like the anatomical chart,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also my surrender. I surrender literally with my hands open.
Mm.
When I was listening to church this weekend, because I didn't get to see Joyce,
Joyce.
I watched her and I literally held it in my hand with my hand open, receiving the message the whole time. I know
Mm.
that's counterintuitive because I had literally the phone in my hand, but I
Mm-hmm.
was receiving her word while I was listening to her. Johnny even said, just put the phone down. I said, no, I'm receiving her word. Like, I have it open. So resting correctly will save your body,
Mm.
especially for the men, because I don't know what it is. Y'all just don't sleep good. Y'all don't sleep well. Y'all don't sleep right. There's no good positioning. Women to take more care. They're worried about that kind of stuff. I think they're worried about wrinkles, so they get a special pillow and they make sure that they're sleeping correctly without being crooked in a sense. So that's just a little tidbit that I have.
So I love learning, and I love taking the time to hear from anyone
Mhm.
who really knows and loves what they do. And I want you to know that I I truly value the time that we've been able
Mhm.
to have this conversation and
Thank
chat.
you.
And I know that there's going to be a lot of people that over the course of watching this
Mhm.
will hear and take in and
Mhm.
then share it with others.
Mhm.
And hopefully the message, the wisdom, the
Mhm.
benefit of your many years and passion
Mhm.
of caring for people will resonate for a very, very long time to come and empower other massage therapists
Mhm.
and empower other people that maybe never had a massage to
Yes.
be able to go and get one and experience what that's like.
Mhm.
And just know that there are people that God put on the planet that truly are equipped to love you in such a way
Mhm.
as to help bring about a better version of yourself
Mhm.
through that, in essence, healing touch.
Yes. The
So,
enemy wants to keep us down. He wants to keep us down. And when your body's hurting, you're down. It depresses people. People are exhausted when their body's hurting. And I'm not saying a massage is going to be your cure all, but it's a method to understanding and knowing your body better in order for you to do other things to make it feel better. A lot of athletes, there's athletes who haven't even had massages.
mhm.
They use their bodies like machines, and yet they've never had proper body work done, right? Um, and then you have the little old lady down the street who's never been touched properly. She's never been touched correctly. And that was a big indicator in 2020 that touch was so imperative for our
Oh yeah,
health and our
when
wellness.
you're without it, it will
Okay,
create a
positive touch.
depression.
Yes, positive touch.
True,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
we don't we kind of take for granted a hug or a
Mhm.
handshake, and not just a handshake, a
Mhm.
quick, but a handshake with an additional touch, a look
Mhm.
you in the eye, and a I care about you.
Our society now is frowned upon. It's frowned if I grab a man's shoulder. I'm flirting with him. It's frowned upon if I want to hug you tight and press myself into you as a real hug. That's frowned upon now. How? When? How did that become? How did positive touch and showing love via touch, how did that become negative? It's how we subdue our nervous system. It's how when Johnny's hugging me, I feel safe.
Hmm.
Like when he's just letting me hug him, I'm safe. I feel safe. I feel confident in who I am, and I feel safe enough to let my guard down, to be vulnerable, and let Christ enter me.
Hmm.
Because when we're guarded and we're restricted, we don't flow well.
Hmm.
We don't flow well. We don't accept, we don't receive, we don't do any of the good stuff that God meant us to have, right? So my purpose in life, my little slogan is healing with my heart and hands.
Mm.
And that's all I know how to do at this point. I'm good at interior design. I'm gifted with that as well. But it's not my niche. Like saying I'm also licensed in real estate. I like it, but I'm not my best friends at it. They're phenomenal because their hearts are in it. Like they roll in it. I'm just not that wasn't what I was called to do. I
Hmm.
will sell a house any day and I'll help you buy one, but it's not my calling.
Right.
And if you're not doing what you're calling, you're feeling like you're working. I never feel like I'm working. Like I just literally after my mammogram went to my financial advisor and she's like, "When do you want to retire?" And I was like, I don't,
Right. You
because
love it too much.
I'm living my life
Yeah.
while I'm practicing massage
Yeah.
therapy. And I was very fortunate that my ex-husband financially provided enough for me to actually take time off to raise my children.
Mm.
Okay. When I closed my spa down, it was heartbreaking, but it allowed me to raise my children properly. I didn't have nannies. I
Hmm.
took care of them. And
Hmm.
so now that I'm able, they're older in college and have two juniors, I am now able to focus on people again
Hmm.
because I don't have to raise my babies anymore. They're good, right? So I think that, we do have seasons and we do have reasons for the ups and downs. I'm sure there's a lot of people out here who have been doing something for 30 years and they've probably thrown the towel in 10 times. I know I have. I mean, I literally gave up my license for almost 5 years before I got reinstated into it. And that is the enemy saying, I don't want you to do the purpose God gave you.
Right.
I'm going to feed you with all this crap.
Distract
I'm going to
you
bring
and pull you
people in and
down.
yeah, I'm going to cover my little minions and I'm going to put them in other people's forms and I'm going to tear you down.
Hmm.
And I strongly believe that I'm where I need to be correctly here, this minute, now, sharing the word and helping other people, even if I only help other massage therapists.
Hmm.
I may not help another human receive a massage, but even if I can give that word of confidence in massage therapy or massage therapists to say, if you chose this, believe yourself. Just because you're new at it and I've been doing it for 30 years doesn't mean I'm better than you.
Right. Well, don't you have a book coming out?
We do. It's going to be a series of flight or feelings. It hasn't been labeled yet, but it's I'm co-authoring, and I think there's either 10 or 12 authors for this first version.
Good.
My story's pretty funny. I think that when other massage therapists read it, they're going to be like, she finally said it out loud. She finally said it. Because it's me. I'm very transparent and authentic and raw. And human beings' opinions of me don't matter. I know where I'm going.
Nor should they.
Yeah. So I think that it's going to be funny when I actually relate what I've been through and the struggles that I've been through and some of the downfalls, because my career was dead at one point. It was dead, and I revived it. Ironically enough, is one of my product names, Revive. I Embraceably Me, because my old name was my married name. My spa was named after my married name. Embraceably Me was me embracing my new life, but I couldn't figure out how to put. I couldn't figure out the words, and I had a friend of mine help me. And the EM in the front is my daughter Emma Marie, and the ME at the back, Embraceably Me, is Maria Elizabeth. And those two girls are a reason why I get up every morning and fight through what I fight through, not only for God's purpose for me, but for the legacy that I'm going to have for them.
Absolutely.
I want them proud of me and to say my mom hustled to help other people, not my mom hustled to get a new car or a purse. She hustled to help people. Right. And if that's all that my children ever say, that's all that matters to me.
Right.
Because I feel like a lot of people don't help enough, and that's why they're depressed.
Well, the benefit, you're modeling that blessing. And Chris Kyle said this to me, hey, who are you helping? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, the only way that we're going to be able to help ourselves, veterans, is to help other people, because we're the only ones that really get us.
Yes.
So if you're not actively helping other people, you're missing out on a level of return that is unfathomable, and money has nothing to do with it. It goes beyond money.
When I'm not practicing, I'm depressed. I feel my body's just lower, and massage makes me move, so I get paid to move in a sense. I get paid to bless people. I get paid, it's a win-win for me.
Sure.
It's just like decorating for Jesus. It's like I decorate for his birthday. I get paid to do it. I get paid really well to do it. So, and it's fun. Like we have a blast doing it. But I always tell people, if you're doing what you love and you really do what is purpose for you, it's never going to feel like work. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I really am not. When I got voted best of the best, I told Dewan, she's the owner of the Spa Ritual. She's been an esthetician for about, I think, like 18 years. I looked at her and I started crying. I was like, I don't think I want this recognition. And she was like, what do you mean? Like, I didn't even know I was nominated, first of all, for Sophisticated Woman magazine. I was like, I did not even know I was nominated. Could I have told them no? And she's like, just own it. Like you deserve being the best of the best. I said, but then where it comes in from best of the best means everything else comes down from there, right? And then I'm going to be compared, and I don't want to be compared to anyone else.
Right.
So it was bittersweet that I won it, but at the same time, I was kind of like humbled by the fact that, do I really want this? But it worked.
Well, you're a better you than you were before. And like I said, that fascination to learn, that fascination to share, and you may be 15 minutes smarter than other people, but you're willing to share as opposed to hoard the knowledge yourself. Yes. And so again, greater love hath no man than he lay down his life for his friends. But at the same time, the opportunity for us while we're here to love one another and to be a blessing to other people in whatever it is that we are gifted within to do. Yep. So what a powerful opportunity that you have to be able to help people through some pretty difficult times.
If there's any massage therapist out there she's in her first, second, third year, or him first, second, third year, and he's thinking about, or her thinking about quitting, my only advice to give to them is that pray on the fact, if this was planted in your heart and this was the seed that was planted for you, pray on that fact. But you're not going to be phenomenal at what you do until you experience the pain of life. Because until you go through death, until you lose someone that you truly care about, until you become a parent, until you are sacrificing time, because you really will. You'll sacrifice your time for other people and not for your family. Divorce was a key indicator for
Yep.
me. All these different things really molded who I am now as a professional. And I
Mhm.
remember when I was in my early 20s, therapists telling me that, and I was like, whatever. I was spoiled. I had never had any issues. I was the youngest of 4 kids. I wasn't a mom. I hadn't divorced. Nobody died in my life. Like, I had friends and I was living life boastfully, and I was naive. It wasn't until I hit my 40s that my practice changed, and the light bulb went off and said, this is what it's about. It's not about me in my 20s.
Right.
It's about everyone else.
And you can't really explain that to people anyway.
So that's where Embraceably Me comes into play. I'm embracing the new me. This is a whole new person. People who were friends with me 2-3 years ago, they don't recognize me anymore. I have 2 standing best friends who are on my real estate team with me. They're the only ones who really know who I am. They've known me for years because they've seen they've seen the resurrection of my life in a
Sure.
sense. Yeah. And they've never judged me. They've never judged me for what I've been through. Right. And they would be the ones to give me the shirt off their backs if I needed it. So I've lost a lot of friendships in the making of my renewal and my
Sure.
resurrection because people don't like fun and they don't like joy. They liked me when I was calling them miserable and unhappy. But now that I'm where I need to be and I feel confident in who I am and I have a new love in my life that is phenomenal, like, things have completely transpired for me, and they're quick when they come. Like, when God introduces you to something, he's bringing it. He's
Yep.
bringing it quick. And if you don't see it, you could miss out on it.
One of the ways that that this gets described is put the vessels out
Mhm.
for the blessings to fill. And if you're not putting the vessels out and you're complaining about not having, but you're not willing to receive,
Mhm.
back to that, do you want to be healed?
Yes.
If you're, and again, like you may, comparing is another tool of the devil.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
like, oh, you're not as good as them. Oh, you're not as, and
Mhm.
so it's always used, kind of in a bad light. Are you better than you were before?
Mhm.
And that pain and suffering, if the Lord could create perspective any other way, he would.
Mhm.
He can't. There's nothing that comes across as well as your own choices and your own
Mhm.
mistakes to be able to help us realize how better could it be if
Mhm.
we only did this.
Mhm.
And again, that free choice, like, I could make you happy,
Yeah.
but you need to be able to receive the happiness that I'm providing.
Exactly.
And if you're not willing to do that, then maybe now's not the time.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think broken people, whether they're physically or spiritually broken, we have a lot of mental broken people these days. But when people are broken and they're so guarded because they're scared, because fear is false evidence against reality.
Sure.
When we're full of that fear, we don't know where God's sending us blessings.
Mhm.
And I was the epitome of it. When you guys met me, I was the epitome of it. I was literally coming out of a divorce of 21-year marriage, very broken, very unsure, literally on my own for the first time in my life, and not really confident in that I was going to do it, except for the fact I had faith. My
Mhm.
hope was so dirt. It was in the dirt. It wasn't gone, but it was literally in the dirt. And I have met some amazing women in the networking group that I'm in.
Mhm.
So Empowering Her Life, I'm now their junior ambassador for the city of Mandeville. They've expanded to 5 different cities. And Desi's biggest thing was that she wanted to have womanship at a level of non-competition. And you look at another woman and say, I'm going to help you. What can I do to
Yes.
help you?
Yes.
And there's so many business women that are balancing families and life and in general businesses, and it's a struggle. It's hard. How can we help you? We're not here to be your enemy or your hater.
Right.
We're here to help you. So the last 2 years, when I don't know if you know Debbie DeNova, she does a lot of podcasts, but Debbie was my angel on earth. I like to say that. She was my little guide. She basically pushed me kind of to go see her speak at this event with the start. It was the very first luncheon for this networking group. And I went and sat at her table and I immediately joined. And from there, so much has blossomed in my life just because of this network. And I tell people, you're isolating yourself, but we need community.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you need to go to church to find your community. It's where you probably want to be, but you need to find a level of community. And that's where Empowering Her Life came into play for me. And there's a lot of women groups that are out there that are great, and they're going to keep rolling. And I think it's phenomenal. St. Tammany has their professional woman. They're all they're all bringing women into community, and that's what we need to support each other. Because when one person's down, we can all build each other back up. But it also helps with business. We don't lead and say, I don't lead and say, oh, hi, I'm Robin, I'm a massage therapist. It's hi, hey, I'm Robin. Welcome. It's just like small group.
Yep.
Welcome. How can we help you?
Yep.
And so that has been a pivoting point for me, and opening your heart
Mm-hmm.
and stop being small.
Sure.
Stop playing small.
Live magnanimously.
Mm-hmm.
You are the daughter of the king.
You are.
And with his
Uniquely
power,
built.
you are
Yeah.
right where he
Mhm.
wants you to be able to be an
Mhm.
extension of his love for
Mhm.
others. So why wouldn't you take that opportunity?
They're all different colors, size, creeds, money, everything. They're all different. All these women are different in some level, but they all have one thing in common, is that they're driven to help succeed other people.
Mm-hmm.
Not just themselves. They're there to succeed and fulfill purpose in other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm so attracted to that. And we get so much negative. Ugh. I'm like, okay, haters. I'm not at home behind the screen. I'm actually living. Like, I'm living. Like, I'm not judging from behind the screen. I'm actually living my life. So that's why retirement, I don't really know.
Yeah. No,
I would love to have my own women's group one day, but that's not my focus right now. My focus is to stabilize my career that has been rebuilt. It usually takes about 3 years. I'm right at that pivoting point. November will be 3 years since I've gotten reinstated, and keep a retention, keep the people coming, keep clientele coming. I'm always taking new clients, but the clients that are loyal are the ones that I can tell, and they stick through it better. So it's less stress on me and them because they're more loyal. So loyalty is a big deal to me as well. And I have people that travel an hour to come see me for a massage.
Wow.
And there's a different level of energy that's given. Not to say I'm giving someone who drives 5 minutes to see me less, but that's a love. Like, that's a love and loyalty to a person because of the transfer of just the service itself, but just the transfer of God's gift. Like, they're given to me, I'm given to them,
Sure.
and they appreciate it. So there's been a lot of open doors and me opening my mind and heart. And I never once thought I would meet a man like I met recently. And I literally had to walk into his business dehydrated. I had overworked that week. I had like 24 clients.
For
I
him to
was
give you an
struggling.
IV to be able to
I
resurrect
was
you.
struggling, and I was going to go to Jazz Fest that weekend with my kids. And I was like, I need to go get an IV. And I had them before. And I never once walked into that business thought that that's when God was going to plant somebody in my life.
Well, Johnny's got a phenomenal story in and of himself. I mean,
Yes.
he has had an amazing transition, and he has had some tremendous difficulty and has paid a penalty for some of those choices.
Yes.
But at the same time, what God has done through his life right now is incredible.
Yes.
And to be able to help and bless other people through that.
Yes.
Because again, people just see the surface, like, oh, look, you have such an amazing relationship with this beautiful, beautiful woman. You look like a little Adonis body, and you run your own business. Like, you have no idea what it took to get here, and the difficulty and the challenge.
And
to
he's
be
very
able
transparent about it.
to get where I'm at, and here's where I was, and here's where I am now, and I'm not there yet,
Nope.
but I'm better than I was before. And the willingness to take every day and step forward and say, Lord, please guide me, please help me, get me past this. I'm
We're
willing to
getting
step
him
up.
there. He's still not talking to God like I'd like him to. And his sister said, I prayed for a woman like you, because I challenge him with that. I'm like, and did you talk to God about it? Well, no.
Great question.
And I'll say, well, guess what? You need to talk to God about it.
Well, God has a plan for each of us. And in some cases, we're aware of it. And in other cases, it will be despite our own pushing another direction. So God can still use people even for his own good, even though that conduit, Pharaoh, great example. Let my people go. No, we're not going to do that. Okay, you just stay being hard-headed. I'm going to just work all this out. And at the end, it's still going to bless my people. And so, but how much more willingly, can things happen? And what a testimony of the two of you together powerfully to be able to speak into people's lives. So I'm looking forward to seeing what
Got him back in church.
I'm looking forward to seeing.
He was going to church for like 6 months and he stopped. And it was because of another person. And I said, that's the devil using that other person to squash your spirit down. It's going to take another person who's bigger than that, and spirit who's bigger than that, to get you back in. And I have. And he's come to church with me. And that's a big deal for me to have to work. I didn't worship with my ex-husband.
Mm.
And it was a big, big deal to me to find a man. He didn't have to have 100%. He didn't have to be 100% over the fence. But I needed him to at least be open-minded.
Right.
Because I need a man to pray for me.
Yeah. So my wife and I pray together before we go to bed at night and thank God for the day.
I never had that.
And thank God for what's coming. And I have my little circle of people that I'm praying for and praying over and asking for wisdom for, and she gets to hear that.
Yes.
And then she prays for a circle of people that in some cases they overlap, the situations overlap. In other cases, I get to hear what's on her heart just in a prayer. Because in essence, the closer I get to Christ, the closer I get to my wife.
Yes.
And the closer she
That's
gets
the
to Christ,
triangle.
the more she gets closer to me. So the best way for me to draw closer to her is to get closer to the Lord.
Yep.
And so she has her quiet time in the morning. I have my quiet time in the morning. And, we have that as part of a routine because that's the primary relationship. And then the secondary relationship is our marriage.
Yeah.
So it's a powerful, powerful thing.
I told his sister I knew he believed because he was alone for 5 years. He pushed through for 5 years by himself. And I was like, you have to have a level of faith to push through and isolate yourself for that long to be able to heal. Because a lot of times people find something else to do,
to fill that
push,
void.
To fill the void. He didn't.
Yeah.
He got himself in shape. He pushed helping and coaching other people to get into shape, and he stuck with it. And that's a testament. I said, you may not talk to him, but you know him. And that's okay. That's okay. Not everyone has to be obnoxious like we are sometimes about Christ, about our belief. I'm going to say it out loud no matter where I'm at. If I'm at a gas station or I'm in the middle of a club, I'm going to speak of God and Jesus if I feel I need to. But some people are just a little bit more subtle about it,
Well, and thankfully there was like Paul, there was an Ananias in his life that was tasked with bringing Paul to the truth after he got blinded. So similarly, Johnny had some people in his life who took him in and brought him to the place of loving him through the not understanding and to get him to a place where he was able to receive the truth. And by receiving the truth, receive the benefit that was going to come as a result of these daily steps that were going to change things.
The couple that preached at church for the marriage council, I don't remember their names, the pastor, the husband and wife team.
Like 4 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah, great.
So I went and
I've heard them before. And
everything
they're
they said, I went home and did. Okay, I wrote notes and everything, and I literally wrote 20 different. I wrote 20 things that I needed in God's person for me. My person.
I only had 10.
And I was very
my wife,
I was very
limited the list to
specific.
just 10.
Yeah, I was very specific, and so when I met Johnny, I was checked off 18 of them, and I was like, oh my God, he's been assigned to me. Oh my God, you just assigned him to me. And I had to really hone in on that because he's what I prayed for. He's literally what I put on paper and prayed for, and here it is.
Yeah.
And I've been separated for 5 years. I've been divorced 3.5 years. I was in a very, very absent marriage to the point where I didn't even know it was a marriage at that point. Right. And so my whole life has been in relationships that I didn't feel valued. And now here I have this person in front of me who says, I care about you no matter what happens. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do with it. And so it's been phenomenal. It's been so good. And when people see us together, they say, oh my God, I see it. Y'all were because we have a lot of mutual people we knew, but didn't put two and two together that we would have been a good couple to introduce, because humans are not matchmakers. God is. Right. And so, like I said, it was a timing issue for us, and it happened to be that I was just dehydrated, and I needed help, and he was able to help me with what he was doing. So it's been fun and interesting. So, but yes, I pray for protection over our relationship every night, and I pray for protection over my children, and just my hands, and the people who love me, and the community around me, because the enemy's when he sees good, he's coming in. Right. He's coming in. He came in on me last week so heavy. I was crying. I was overwhelmed. And I just kept saying, God, I don't know why this is why he feels like he's going to come at me and he's going to win because he's not. And it always, even though that fear is put in me, it always works out for me.
Right.
And the biggest thing is my sister passing away. Every single time I get a mammogram, they find something. And it's that post-traumatic stress that you witness someone that you love like be taken from you in such a painful way. And today was, it's just an inflamed lymph node. And I'm like, seriously? All this stress and all this, and this is literally what I do for a living. I do lymphatic drainage, and I have my own issue that's showing up in my mammary tissue. And okay, God, now what I need to do, what do I need to do for this not to happen again?
Yep.
And that's when I'll go into my moods, which is just treat myself better.
Right.
You know? Mm-hmm.
There's an amazing opportunity that I would love to revisit this conversation, and preferably, if time allows, with Johnny.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to, bring your wisdom to this conversation another time, because I mean, we've covered a lot of really great, rich ground.
Yeah.
And I love the understanding of where the real healing comes from, and the opportunities are here. So I think there's a lot of people that will probably be really interested in continuing to learn and continue to be nurtured from your wisdom.
Yes.
So
he would. I'll talk to him about it. Yeah, I think he would love to, because he coached people in health for a long time. His story is he was adopted. First of all, his mom rescued him and raised him, and he lived in Tampa for about 15 years. He got in trouble, and he moved back home here 7 years ago, and he became a health coach with Octavia. He was doing phenomenal with it. He had gained about 100 pounds, right at about 90 something pounds, and lost it. And when people saw his story, they were like, "What are you doing?" And so he said, "Robin, ironically enough, it was the hardest work I had ever done, but it was the easiest work I had ever done." And it was because he was living his purpose, and his purpose is to educate people on health. And it's so ironic that both of us, like, he doesn't think I'm insane. Like, literally, I'd go on dates, and the first 10 minutes, I'm like, this person thinks I'm insane. Because I'm looking at them like, why are you drinking 3 bourbons in 10 minutes? Like, why do you need so much alcohol this quickly? Like, so he understands my brain and where I'm functioning and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And we've had conversations just like you, like, why do people not understand their temple? Why do they treat their temple this way?
Right.
Why do they think that we're immortal to the point of treating their bodies the way they do? So we go back and forth, and he doesn't think I'm psychotic, which is really good, because I do. I get off on a soapbox, and I'm like, why does this people do? Like, I've had 2 friends recently have cancer scares and get out of it and still drink every day. Like, how are you getting a second chance yet you don't care?
Well, again, our opportunity to say, I'm going to do a better job, Lord, with what you've given me, and I'm not going to take for granted the things that you've given me. And if I can be faithful with the small things, I know that you will give me the opportunity to be faithful with bigger things. But right now, I just need to be diligent with the things that you've given me, and let me show you how much I love you with the diligence of how I can, even though they don't deserve it, I'm going to love them, because, while he was hanging on the cross, Lord, please forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm here to help.
I'm here to help. I don't want to slap him in the back of the head.
Right.
I don't want to be that person. Although I would if I had to be. I would. So
you're well on your way to being a great Southern mama. Come here with that.
That's funny. Johnny doesn't have any kids. I'm like, yeah, but I'll have grandchildren one day. So you'll experience it. I promise you. You can take those and leave them, and then bring them back, and they're not yours to keep. You enjoy the good part of them, and then let them go home to their parents. So, but I think he'd enjoy coming in here.
Yeah, well, I'd love to revisit this conversation and to carry on, and love to find out more about the book.
Yes,
and
so
the products that you're also making, and to help get that out, because again, when you take someone with your experience and you're creating products that are gonna benefit people directly,
it's all natural too. It's everything God delivered to us without pesticides and chemicals and preservatives. It's everything that He meant for us to have to help. My website is launched. Can you believe I've been doing this for 30 years and didn't have a website?
you
When
know?
I tell you I was pencil and paper with no credit card machine, and I was the happiest I had ever been. So this new technology about you going and controlling my schedule and scheduling your own appointment, whatever you want to, it really doesn't bode well with me. Like I feel like I'm being impinged on my time. Like I like
It's
to
hard to say no.
I like when I'm in control of my schedule.
Yeah.
And when you go online and you allow people to book on their own, they have full reign of your schedule.
Right.
So it's a little bit of transition for me, and I've had to like let go of that because obviously we need social media and technology right now in this world.
So here's the trick. You get to schedule yourself
Yes.
in your schedule.
Yes.
You get to say, hey,
Yes. This is the
this hour,
time.
these 2 hours,
hmm
that's for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not available.
So, my friend Lexi, she's got iHeart Media. She's doing my website, and she has been phenomenal. We've traded off. I border a lot. Like I do a lot of bordering because I can. Like who
Sure.
doesn't want a free massage for services, right?
Yeah.
So Lexi and she is phenomenal at web design, and she's been working on this website probably for about 4 months now. And when she did the first edit launch with me, I sat down and almost started crying because it's so beautiful. And it's not just because I'm on it. It's because it's just so beautiful. Like it's literally my biography.
hmm
And now Google's going to have it, and it scares me, but I know it's time. Like I know it's time for people to know who I am. I've been kind of in the closet for a long time, and especially with me semi-retiring. So she's launching it. We're going to do the final proof on that. She's also one of the co-authors of the book. We have a few people, Victoria with 11 House, she's in it. A woman named Kevany, she's in it. Kevany actually already has the book. So she's going to be in it, but we have a few hairstylists that are in it. So all these women have different stories of trauma or just life in general, and it's all just a composition of that. So it's going to kind of be based like chicken soup for the soul kind of feel.
Yep.
With multiple authors, and we're just praying that it gets to somebody and it helps somebody, you
Well,
know.
your opportunity to transition into more speaking engagements
Mhm.
as well as products, and the book is always a classic way to open the door into those speaking engagements. But when you have other products that have a need to be marketed, in essence, a need to be, where you're proof. It's like Gary Brecka, here's what I did.
Yeah, he's
Here's what I
phenomenal.
did. And this
I'm
was for a
obsessed
long
with Gary
time.
Brecka.
And now I'm suggesting that people like wake up to the truth of this. How well positioned did God put this, life work together to be able to understand and then be able to help other people?
You know,
So
I'm surprised he's never been censored because he is so knowledgeable. He is so knowledgeable. And he's just a biology major, people. He is so knowledgeable. Like, I'm obsessed with him. He's so smart. Like, the magnesium he suggests,
Yeah.
I started trying it. It's a game changer. I refer it out. The B12, B complex that I take, because I do believe in supplementation. Like, I don't have any medications that I take. If God's not going to cure it, I don't want it to be cured. Like, I want God to cure it. Now, I'm not dumb. Like, if I need conventional medicine at a severity in my life, I'm going to rely on it at some level, but I'm going to fight tooth and nail that I don't have to use it, know. As a female, obviously I have to get a pap smear and a mammogram. That's required. But I hate them. I hate going through the process. I'm disappointed in our system. And I think Johnny feels the same way. He's very, very, very convicted on his belief system about the health insurance companies, just the whole health. And we need to become ahead of that. We need to get ahead of this. It's painful to see what we're going through as a society. And one of the richest countries in the world is painful. It's painful to go through what we're going through. And it's because we're not listening. We're not listening.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We're being marketed to,
We're not
and
listening.
we're believing it. And if we listen, like you said, just when you touch someone's muscles, it's speaking volumes. They may not be able to hear it, but you can.
People are so scared that they'll listen incorrectly to whatever is there to make them feel better about themselves instead of listening intuitively what God's saying not to do or to do. And that's where him and I mesh spiritually and soul-wise. Like, I don't have to explain myself in that mannerism. He gets it and I get it. And we look at each other and say, we don't think we're crazy anymore. Because there is a very isolated group of people who haven't been conformed
Right. Well, I think that group is
It's
big and
expanding.
getting
It's
bigger
expanding.
as a result of the truth.
Hmm.
And so when the Holy Spirit, who is that truth,
Hmm.
puts things in front of us and makes things clear, that veil gets pulled aside,
Yes.
and we get to see how God really intended
Hmm.
things to be,
Hmm.
and how, as we adopt that,
Hmm.
how life can get better.
Yes. I don't do politics. I won't discuss religion, and I don't like politics. I will talk Jesus Christ all day long, but I won't talk religion.
Right.
Okay. But RFK, I don't know who he is. I don't know where he came from. Hallelujah. I don't even know if that's his right initials. Sometimes I call him JFK, but I think it's R. What is it? Is RFK, right?
Yeah.
The knowledge this man has to change this country is
Robert F.
phenomenal.
Kennedy.
Like, the amount of information and the stuff he's implementing is phenomenal for our country to wake up and say, we're done with chemicals and preservatives. Why are other countries allowed to exclude this out of their products?
Right.
Why is it that these companies do it for us? Why is Gatorade 10 years ago was only 3 ingredients and now it's 12
Right.
or however many it is? Why? Why are we allowing this here?
Well, and again, think about the positioning that what it took millions of Americans to vote for Trump to be able to put him
Mhm.
in that place
Mhm.
in the first place. And just to be able to have the experience that he went through,
Mhm.
the difficulty, the challenges that he has had to overcome,
Mhm.
and to being the recipient
Mhm.
of the volleys
Mhm.
of devastation on his body to be able to get to
Yep.
that place, and then him having to work through that, and the understanding of the word, just like you,
Yeah.
the awareness is
So
powerful.
why, as a massage therapist, do I care? Because I care because anything we put on or in our body affects the way we feel. And inflammation is one of the biggest marketing geniuses for big pharma to how can we make more people inflamed so we can get more prescriptions out.
Right.
And that's why, as a massage therapist, I'm convicted by the fact that I'm glad things are changing in that aspect. So hallelujah to that, right? Because it's hard. It's hard trying to help people who you have so much being pressed against you that
Right.
it's almost I get home and say, why am I doing what I'm doing?
Right.
And I've also said, why haven't I quit? But that's just the Holy Spirit telling me you're never going to quit.
Right. That's why it's a bigger mission.
It's a bigger mission.
A mission is better than a job.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know, people go, "Oh, it's a calling." Well, a mission is one of those things too. And as a Marine, willing to lay my life down for this.
Hmm.
And it's not so much the big political, however it needs to get spun. It's the guys on my left and the guys on my right that they're in danger, and I'm not gonna stand by when it's within my power to be able to protect them,
Yes.
whatever that might mean,
Yes.
to include my life.
Mhm.
And when you have a power, when you have that capability to be able to share that with others,
Mhm.
uh, it's a fulfillment for you when you are working through that. And it's not just you, it's God made you that way, and you're working with him to be able to do this work and be able to bless other people and help their lives. So it's not just with your words, it's with your touch, it's with your appreciation, it's with your empathy and
It's
your
with
understanding.
it's with my uncandid wit.
Well,
I'm
there's
pretty
that.
witty.
There is that. And your Christmas decorations look
My
great
Christmas
too.
decorations are beautiful. Humbly speaking. But no, I actually am really good at decorating a tree.
You are.
Yeah.
I've never seen a tree decorated better than you.
Derek and I don't know. I met Derek probably about a decade ago. He's half my age. He's out of Lafayette. And his aunt is the one who introduced us. And at first I was like, whatever. We are such a good mesh. Like we don't even have to think for each other. Like we just do. Like, I don't know how to explain it. And obviously it's his business. Like his business is decorating. So I've actually helped him on some of his projects where I'm his assistant now. I have reduced my amount of decorating compared to 10 years ago because I wasn't doing massage therapy.
Well, it is relatively seasonal.
And it's relatively seasonal. So he's busier, obviously, in Lafayette. But yeah, we're just two peas in a pod. when it comes to that. And we can put up a 15-foot Christmas tree in less than an hour and a half.
Yeah, but you cheat too. You do these clusters of amazing, like
there's
ornamental grapes that
the irony is
and it just goes
the
right up and looks
location you're
great.
talking about, I had the smallest budget. So like literally I have to like come up when I have really good budgets with people who say, I don't have a budget. I'm like, yes, because then we can actually
more creativity.
We can be creative and design differently at a different scale. So
yeah, that's great.
But yeah, last year was a pivoting point of that as well, because one of my houses made a magazine here, and the Christmas tree stood strong in the magazine, and it was beautiful in the article. You know them, the Picus.
Oh, yeah.
So the Picus found me in Hobby Lobby's line, and I was decorating for another company, it was a hotel at the time. I had like 7 baskets full of stuff at Hobby Lobby, which obviously Hobby Lobby, I promote them because they're a Christian-based company.
Yeah.
And so...
Well, they were the original money that helped launch The Chosen.
Oh,
and make
I did
that
not know
possible.
that. I did not know that. But
they've been involved in many other ministries and all but kind of behind the scenes too, that the reason we're still hearing K-Love is because of at one point in time, like it was a make or break, and they stepped in and said,
and I love that
happen.
They're all cash paid.
Yeah.
But the Picus saw me in line. They had just bought their new house, and they're like, "Do you do this for a living?" And I could see her distress on her face, and I said, "Yes, ma'am, I do." And she said, "Can I please hire you?" She literally hired me on the spot in the middle of Hobby Lobby's line.
Wow.
And so I said, "Well, let me come see your house." And I walked up to the house. I'm like, "Thank you, Jesus. The house is gorgeous." And we've been friends ever since. And then we realized we go to church together. So that was also a testimony that at the time I needed more work, and I had the time to give out more work. And I just happened to be in line. It's God's timing that I was in line at the same time she was checking out.
Wow.
And I've been working for them ever since. And so when the magazine asked me to do an article on one of the Christmas clients that I had 2 of them that lined up. But the communion of our relationship was based on how we felt about Christ as well.
Absolutely.
So, the article was put out might have been put out last November, December. I don't remember when it came out, but I almost cried when I saw because I didn't write it. A writer did. I gave her the information to write it, and Cheryl they were just astounded by it. It was amazing that we even brought up, how we go to Church of the King and how the church has helped us get through things. And I mean, the contributions they give to the church is like amazing. So really good people. But that's when God winks at us. And if we're not paying attention to his winks, we'll miss those blessings.
Yeah.
Because I could have stood in line and said, no, I just do this for commercial people.
Right.
I don't have time.
Your willingness to serve.
But I'm never going to say no to...
And God positioned you in that place in that time, obviously. But you had to be the one to step up and have
faith in myself and have faith in my abilities and on a clean slate.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're really good people. They're very... I mean, like they're amazing. They really are. So I have my little family of people who keep me going,
Well, you may see me around some of your handiwork from time to time.
Well, if you need Santa Claus jobs that are days that you're not filled, let me know. I mean,
during the week is relatively thin, but the weekends book up years in advance.
Okay.
And so so my cute wife she's got me like in 2 to 3 gigs, as I would say, if I was a band member, if you'd be gigging. But as Santa, like, what do you call that? Like, it's a
gig.
It's a photo shoot.
Yeah.
It's the only time of year when an average fat guy with a beard becomes a supermodel.
Do you have the white with the gold belt? Are you using that one more, or are you using the red with the gold belt?
So Chifuncta Country Club loved it.
The white with the gold, or
the gold? Yeah, the gold suit was amazing. But when I give people the choice, they tend to stick to the traditional because it's what they're used to. But on the events that I get to just talk to people, I get to wear what I want. Now again, it's Louisiana, and it's real material.
Yeah.
So I'm buying some pain and suffering unless it's very well air conditioned.
It's true. It's so hot.
Because it looks great, but
it's hot.
my socks are going to be dripping wet by the time we're done. So we'll see. We'll see how it unfolds. But I love that suit. It was custom made. It took many years to kind of get there, saving up money from Santa gigs to be able to do that. And we built our own stuff. And I've got some phenomenal photographers that just do an amazing job, and they have their clients. And I see the same kids growing up
Yes.
for years
My
and
little
years and
niece
years.
my little niece is taking pictures with y'all.
Yeah, it's incredible.
She loves it. She's so funny. She said, "Hey, Robin, I took a picture by your Christmas tree." Because she knows that's the tree I decorated. So that's funny. But all good. Everything's good. I love it. I love that part of it, is the joy that it brings. And that's why Derek and I do it. It's tough work. We have Don Seafood as clients, and we do that at night. We go in at 10 when they close and leave at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
So just remember, when you see Christmas decorations, people are working all through the night to get them that way. I mean, a lot of times these places can't stop business, so they need people to come in at night. So, but we love it. You couldn't stop me from doing it.
Hey, let's do this again sometime.
Absolutely. Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you.
You too. You too. Thank you.
Ma'am.
Yes.
I'm American, American, made.